people often ask, isn't there a book that I can buy and I can read all this stuff? And of course, there are many books in the world, and there is no book that teaches you Advaita philosophy. However, there are books that are based on the conversations between Mr. Maclaren and Shantananda Saraswati. But the point about this teaching is not book learning. It really is not academic. It's not in any way intellectual, although the intellect is involved in it. It really is allowing the words of the wise to kind of wash away the impediments in the mind. And so when we come back week after week, often our students don't remember a few days later what it was that we discussed in the previous class, but it does have a cleansing effect. It's really like taking a shower every day. You take a shower every day and you wash away the grime that goes in. Often we're not aware of what goes on in the mind or what we receive all day long through the ears, through the eyes. And so the system of coming together regularly, meditating or practicing the exercise every day is a most practical way of, how can I put this, of creating a kind of a quiet mind. Or encouraging the mind to appreciate stillness, because really our creativity stems from that place. So the answer again to the question of are there books? Yes, we use quotations from many of the wise teachers of the past, but it's not a bookish kind of a pursuit. And it really is very practical. So people's everyday practical experiences become the material of the class. We do have a starting point with written material, and this written material, by the way, is the same throughout the world. So wherever you go to a philosophy class, it feels like you've come home. So there we are. It works like a sort of a shower. There's a story to go along with this. I might tell this story. There was a farmer, an old man, very wise, not educated in the ordinary sense of the word, but an extremely wise and kind old man. He had a young grandson who admired his grandfather very much and wanted to be like him. So he studied what the grandfather was doing, and he noticed that the grandfather reads from the Bhagavad Gita, which is the holy book of the Indians, every evening. So the grandson started to do the same thing. And every night he would read a few pages, and it all made a great deal of sense. But in the morning, it had evaporated. He couldn't remember anymore what he had read. After a few days, he goes to his grandfather and he says, "This isn't working." So the grandfather says, "Let me demonstrate how this works. Go and pick up that basket of coal from over there, empty out the coal, and take the basket to the river and fill it up and bring it over here." So the grandson obeys, empties out the coal, takes the basket to the river. But of course, a basket doesn't hold water. So by the time he gets back, there's no water left in the basket. The grandfather says, "Go back and do this again." And so this is repeated several times that day, and then over the course of the next few days. Finally, in exasperation, the grandson says, "But this isn't working, grandfather. Nothing will stay in the basket." And the grandfather says, "So it is with you. The way this teaching works is it just washes away the grime. Have a look at this basket. Is it the same as when you started?" And the boy looks, and of course now the basket is completely clean, and it has gone back to what it was in the first place, before the coal was put into it. And so that's how this teaching works. It washes away the grime.